Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Amanda Wiles. I'm the owner and doctor of occupational therapy with Pediatric Therapy Partners. So, the mission of Pediatric Therapy Partners is to partner with children and families through therapeutic services to improve their daily lives. And so, specifically, what that means for us is we provide occupational therapy services to children. Um, Commonly in OT, we work on helping children with their dressing skills, fine motor, attention, and socialization with their peers. Really, the focus is on improving their participation across life at home and at school. Sadly, many families in this local area who know that their child needs occupational therapy are faced with long wait lists with the local providers. And really, what parent wants their child to have to wait for services that will help them. So, we are providing additional services in the local area for families to really decrease that wait time for services. We provide services in Middletown, Delaware, Bear, Delaware, and then also Cecil County, Maryland. There's really only a couple local competitors in each of these local towns. Of note, in Cecil County, there are no other occupational therapy providers for children specifically. And so, really, what we're doing is families in this area finally have access to care for their children where they don't have long drives and they don't have wait times in this area. While we know there's a need for more providers in the area due to these wait lists, there's also national data to support this. 1 in 6 children have a developmental disability, which this number is also growing. Many children who have a developmental disability will go on to receive OT services. Additionally, the growth rate for the OT profession is 16%, which is considered very high compared to the 4% national average for all professions. Lastly, there's rapid population growth locally here in Middletown, Delaware, which is 21.4% compared to that national average of only 6%. Further, one other thing we offer that's very unique is we provide services in the family's home. Typically, these types of services are provided in a clinic setting. This really allows us to increase our partnership and collaboration with the child's family. And research also does show that these home-based services improve therapy outcomes for the child. Additionally, one other thing that's relatively unique for us is that I received a doctorate of OT focused on sensory integration. And I'm currently training for a certification for this. It's a widely recognized research-based intervention for children, but there really are a lack of providers that do this here on the East Coast. So with growth, we would plan to have all of our occupational therapists trained in this method to support families here in Delaware in a unique way. Now for a little bit about our business model. So currently for marketing, our customer acquisition primarily comes from 3 sources. And those are word of mouth from current or past clients, online presence, so families are finding us on Facebook or the web, our website, and then other providers. So one thing that has been wonderful is collaborating with several local businesses, whether that's private schools, other health facilities, or departments of social services. So we have been able to directly receive referrals from some of the other organizations. Once we acquire a customer, we typically see a child 1 to 2 times per week for an occupational therapy session. In terms of length of seeing the child, that can really vary from 3 months, 6 months, to even 2 years, really depending on the child's specific needs. Now, looking at the financial model, so we accept most major health insurances. While I can't share the specific contracted rates with those companies, we do have an average of around $100 received per 1-hour session with a child. So looking here, this is just a breakdown to see potential earnings that can happen with part-time or full-time staff. So here you'll see the breakdown for 20-hour therapists that might be working with us in the future. If they're seeing 14 sessions a week, and you subtract their wage from that money they're bringing in, they have the potential to bring in around $40,000 a year for the company, after their wage is deducted from that. And that's just for a part-time occupational therapist. I put that here because we're likely to start with hiring part-time staff. So to date, also, we've shown largely consistent growth and profitability within 1 year of opening. We opened in October 2020. And so you can see here, this is the gross profit history throughout the past 10 months or so. The drop you see in April is due to COVID-19 quarantine procedures, but otherwise, the change here is pretty consistent. And then moving forward for the rest of this year, we're expecting around $33,000 in net profit. And then in 2022, we would plan to hire 2 occupational therapists, a full-time office staff, as well as opening a physical clinic location around the third quarter. And so considering, the extra staff and the cost of opening that physical clinic, we're looking at around $50,000 for net profit in 2022. And really, this grant funding would help us support providing these 3 additional jobs across 2022 in Delaware, and then also opening this brick and mortar clinic to serve local families. We would plan to continue the home-based services because of how important we see those to be, but also having this additional physical location option for families. All right, so that is the condensed version of my presentation. I want to thank you so much for listening, and I would love to answer any questions that you have for me.